They call me Gonzo. I have fluffy fur. If you can beat me up, you'll earn 15 points.
Oh, hi there, and welcome back to part 2 of Chrono Trigger. Today is the 1000th anniversary of the Kingdom of Guardia, and it is a glorious and amazing fair. Now, one of the things I love about Chrono Trigger is everything has a purpose in the game, and even this silly little fair at the beginning of the game has plenty of purpose, and there's also, this is basically just the place of mini-games. This place was designed to be a place full of mini-games. But before we enjoy the festivities, Chrono's looking a little boring, right? Let's go see if we can pick him up a girl. Yeah, Chrono likes the ladies. Let's see if we can pick him up. Uh-oh, now, see, there's a cute girl over there. She's running around. She looks like she's bored. She wants something to do. There's your chance, Chrono. Go. 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 Do it, Chrono. Ask her out. Oh man, you oaf. You just ran into her, Chrono. Boo, boo, bad move. That's not going to earn you any dates. Oh, jeez, Chrono. Alright, Chrono, try to recover. Be a nice guy. Talk to her. Make sure she's okay. Oh, she lost her pendant. Okay, it's over here. Alright, here you go. Here's your pendant. Oh, okay. Good recovery, Chrono. Good recovery. Give her pendant back. You're doing good, Chrono. You're doing good. Oh, and he's successful. He's scored the dates and the girl will go out with him and enjoy the festivities of the Millennial Fair. This character is Marla. Now, I've heard many pronunciations of her name. I've heard Marl, Marley, and my personal favorite, Marla. Actually, that's the one I've heard the least, ironically, but I personally like Marla, so I'm going to refer to her throughout the walkthrough as Marla. But I do, from what I've read, I think the Japanese version is Marl. Not that it really matters. Anyways, Marla is the definition of a support character. She uses ice magic and is very magically oriented. She does fight with crossbows for physical type attacks, and like I said, she's just the definition of a support character. She uses a lot of healing magic. She has an amazing revive late game. It's like her final tech. She's just a great support character. Now, the situation with Marla, from everybody I've ever known who's played this game, they either think she's incredibly useful or utterly useless. It's a personal taste thing, and I personally love using Marla as a character, but it depends on if you like having that support character. Alright, so now that Chrono has a companion to have fun with him at the fair, let us take a look around Lena Square. Oh, isn't that cute? They're having such a good time. So, I'm going to start off with the shops. The first shop on the bottom left is the Consumables. You can buy potions, which restore 50 health, Panaceas, which remove status ailments, Athenian waters, which revive a KO'd ally, and shelters, which restore health and magic. I recommend you have at least one shelter, which you got a free shelter somewhere along the line. Potions are dirt cheap in this game. Pick up a few potions, it'll help you out in the long run. Panaceas are also dirt cheap, but I rarely use them. And then an Athenian water is up to you. I don't think I'm going to bother with spending money now. It's entirely up to you how you spend your money in the game. And there's a few things you can buy early on, and another thing you can buy is bronze helmets for 200 gold. Now, just a side note, Marla isn't actually going to be on your party for very long. In fact, she's barely going to be on your party at all. So if you're shopping right now, you are shopping for Chrono. Shop for Chrono. A bronze helmet's not a bad pickup. It gives you some extra defensive stats. It's 200 gold. I'm not going to buy one. You'll eventually get items like that in the near future. But if you're unsure of your capabilities in Chrono Trigger and you want to have some extra security, it might be worth picking up. And then there's a guy over here, his name's Melchior. He's a little bit strange, but we can take a look, and he sells weapons. He sells a bronze blade and a silver sword. Now, the silver sword's 4,000. You're not going to be buying that anytime soon. But you can pick up a bronze blade for a little bit extra power. Again, I think it's a personal preference thing. You're going to pick up stronger weapons in the near future. So it's up to you. If you want that security, that's up to you. Well, that pendant was pretty important to Marla, so I don't think she wants to sell it, so sorry, buddy. I'm a nice guy. I'm not going to try to get her to sell the pendant. And that pretty much wraps up shopping, so now we can take a look at the mini games. And there's a lot of fun we can have here at the fair. Now, at the fair, you can win silver points. Silver points are like the random currency of prize points you can win at the fair. And then you can use those silver points to do things. So, there are plenty of ways to earn silver points. The first of them, ringing the bell. Whoops, I screwed up. This is a timing thing. You have to wait until you're as far back as possible and then press A. It's actually really, really simple once you get the hang of it, but it's a very inefficient method of grinding silver points. You only get 1 silver point for it, but it's pretty simple. It's cool, fun, I guess. The kingdom's been through some hard times, like the war against the Fiend Lord 400 years ago. Thank God things are so peaceful now. If we head over to the east here, there's actually a race going on, and it's pretty interesting. Now, basically how this works, you talk to this guy, and he's going to tell you when they're lined up. If there's a race in progress, he'll tell you to come back, but once they're lined up, you can try to guess the next winner. There's Still Runner, the armored dude on the left, Green Amber, the green dude, he's kind of weird looking, Cadillac, who is the cat, and G.I. Jogger, who's the blue armored dude. I like Cadillac, cute little kitty. Anyways, you can pick a character and then they'll race. Now, I've heard many stories about how you can manipulate this race in your favor, because looking at it on paper, you would think, it's 25% odds, right? Well, I don't know if that's necessarily true. I've heard stories that you can run alongside runners and slow them down or speed them up. I don't know how true that is. I've also heard that if you talk to this guy before the race starts, he'll also give a prediction. And I've heard that he's typically at least somewhat right. Now, I actually just won the race, and I followed this guy's prediction, and I ran along the racers who were winning to try to slow them down by mashing B. I have no clue if any of this is true. It's all superstition that I've heard. You can take it for what it's worth. I've heard that this is technically the most efficient method of grinding silver points. I don't agree, but that's up to you if you want to just gamble. It's fun. Like I said, this place is all mini games, and it's really an amazingly cool place. I really like the Millennial Fair, and like I said, everything in the game has a purpose, and this has its purposes too. The next place we could head over to is over here. My dear old wife made that lunch for me. Well, that's so sweet of your wife. And if you do eat his lunch, it'll fully restore your hit points and magic points, but that would be very mean to steal that poor old man's lunch. I'm not going to do that, but it's there if you are feeling mighty evil and you want to eat the poor man's lunch. Alright, to the left over here, they call me Gato, and he has metal joints. If you can beat him up, you earn 15 points. This is your very first enemy you can fight in the game in actual combat. Very important. This is your first stab at fighting an enemy. He has 2 attacks, one where he'll punch you, and 2, he'll sing a little song. And then he has a 3rd attack, which is a counter. If you attack him with a physical attack, he will, if you're within his range, he will counterattack by punching you repeatedly. If you aren't in his range, he'll be too far to counterattack. Now, Gonzo is a very interesting enemy, and like I said, he's like a mini boss battle, actually, because counterattacks are common amongst bosses. I mean, standard enemies will get them throughout the game too. But he's like a mini boss. He's your first experience fighting. And he's a bit tricky. Now, you do get experience, and you do get tech points for fighting him. And I personally think this is the best method of grinding silver points. I think fighting him is very efficient, and if you fight him 10 times, you will actually get access to Marla's first tech, and you'll get access to Chrono's first tech as well, Cyclone. So I think grinding against Gonzo early on is a relatively interesting thing to do. Now, you may have to heal up. I recommend going back to your home and sleeping rather than stealing poor men's lunches. But it's very interesting to fight Gonzo. Aw, poor little kitty. He looks lost. I wonder if we could find his owner. The little kitty will follow us. He's so cute. Be careful though, if you talk to him again, he's going to run away. So just let him follow you. This little girl seems to be looking for a lost kitty. You brought back my kitty. Thank you. Alright, another mini game we can play. A drinking contest. Well, this is kind of older times. I wonder what kind of drinking we're doing here. Alright, now to do this, you have to mash the A button. And when I say mash it, you have to mash this thing. Like, super fast mashing. And even with my fastest mashing, I still only got 7. You have to drink 8 of these things. This is like really hard to do. Like, I don't even know how to describe how hard it is to do it. I like setting my DS down on a hard surface and then like twitching my hand to mash the button repeatedly. This is next to impossible to do unless you have lightning fast A button mashing. It's only worth 5 silver points, and I feel like you'll actually hurt yourself trying to do this more than earn silver points. I don't recommend you do this too much. It'll leave your hands a bit sore. But it's an interesting game nonetheless, and 5 points. Over here, we can dance the Bobonga! Oh yeah, dance the Bobonga. That's actually what the song's called, Bobonga. Prehistoric rhythms can dance. Yeah. It's so random, but it's so entertaining. I really like the Millennial Fair. Alright, so I've went over every way to earn silver points. Now we can talk about how to spend silver points. If you spend 10 silver points here, you can exchange it for 50 gold. If you need money, I highly recommend you do this. If you're worried about not having enough money, this is definitely worth considering doing. But there are prizes that can be earned. Now, I'm going to take a quick pause break, and I'm going to go grind out some silver points off camera so I can show you all the extra mini games. I'm also going to fight Gonzo several times, and then I'll probably pick up some techs along the way. Just a brief random note, you can max out at 200 silver points. You can't get more than 200 silver points. Anyways, I'm gonna go grind some points. Okay, finished out grinding silver points. I also hit level 3 in the process, and I also picked up Chrono's first tech, Cyclone. I mentioned it in the last part, but I'll mention it again. Cyclone is a tech where you pick a target, and it will hit all enemies within a small radius of that target. It's an incredibly good early game tech, and it costs 2 magic points. You should definitely use it, but use it in moderation. When you use it, you should always have the intent of hitting multiple enemies. If you're not hitting multiple enemies, you're wasting good magic points. Just use your auto attack instead. Anyways, I grinded out enough silver points so I can show you all of the mini games here at Norstein Beckler's tent. The spine-tingling show is about to start. He's a strange character. He has a floating head and floating hands. Anyways, depending on how many silver points you spend, you will determine what game you play and what prize you can win. First up for 10 points is an interesting game. If you've ever seen a magician have 3 cups and he puts a ball under it and then he shuffles the cups, that's basically what this game is. There's 3 characters, Biggs, Wedge, and Piete, and you have to follow them and track them, and he'll ask for the name of one of the characters, and you have to follow that character to make sure that you picked the right character. He asked for Biggs. I typically like to fixate my eyes on Biggs, and then I'll have my eye try to track another character. It's not too difficult. If you fail the first time or two, no big deal. It takes a little getting used to. And your reward will be a Poyozo doll. I typically call them Poizio. I have no clue how to pronounce it. I think it's Poyozo. And it'll go to your room at home. And if you click on it at home, it'll actually play a little tune for you. Now, way late in the game, you'll actually get the ability to switch Chrono off your leading spot. Chrono's with you for the majority of the game. But later on in the game, if you come back with a different leading character, you can actually win dolls for all 7 playable characters, and it will go to their home, and it'll play a theme relatable to that character. And the second prize that you can win for 40 points is actually similar. It's a Doppel doll, which looks like the character itself. And to win that Doppel doll, you have to mimic it. Left arm, right arm, laugh, and surprise. You have to mimic all, I believe it's either 20 or 22 of its actions. It starts off slow, and it speeds up as you go. And it's actually a pretty tough game. I consider this the hardest of the 3 games, mainly just because I accidentally misclick. It's pretty tricky. So I'm probably going to, I like to have my my thumb hover over the Y button, and then that way I'm always ready for the weird laugh look. And then if he does the surprised pose, I quickly move over to the surprised button. Part of it's just remembering what buttons do what. And like I said, it gets really fast in the later stages. Now, there's actually something late game related to this game. If you win the Doppel doll now, you will actually be able to skip a step for something that happens in the late game. So, if you play any of the games, the Doppel doll might be the one you want to do most, because it can actually help you out at a certain point in the game. So, I just thought I'd mention that it's probably the trickiest of the games. And then the last game is actually the most expensive, but it's probably one of the easiest games because it's just a pattern that you have to know what to do. So, basically, monsters will come from above, and you have to throw beanbags and push them back into the cage. Oh, and to make it a little bit more interesting, there's going to be a hostage being lowered into flames. It's kind of tricky, but once you get the hang of it, it's pretty easy. Quickly push all the beanbags, push the characters over, and then if you go all the way over to the right, a blue light will appear that you can use to push Marla back up so she can get away from the flames. It's pretty easy. The main thing is hurrying up in the beginning and getting that middle one back into the cage. If you're really quick, you can actually get the left one into the cage early as well. And your reward? A cat. A cute little kitty cat. And that cat will go to your home. I kid you not, your prize is a cat. Now, there's actually something a little bit interesting about that tent. If you continue to play and you already have the prize for a particular challenge, you win cat food instead of whatever prize you already won. And if you get enough cat food, you can attract more cats to your house. And you can have up to 11 cats in Chrono's house. They're so cute. So, Chrono's a cat person. He likes the cats. And you can actually check how many grams of cat food you have. And like I said, he could have 11 cats. It's just so weird. Anyways, there is one last thing we can do at the Millennial Fair. Did you forget about Luca's invention that we were supposed to go check out? Yeah, you might have forgot about it in all the fun and festivities. Now, you can go there as early as you'd like. Most of the Millennial Fair stuff is completely optional, but you do have to walk around for a little bit. Eventually, you'll get a message that says, her invention's ready. So let's go check. Oh, we have to wait. We have to wait for Marla to get some candy. I'm going to be a very patient friend, and I'm just going to wait. Gonna stand here. You take forever, Marla. Hurry up. Buy the stupid candy. Okay. Now we can go check out the fair. Gossip, you don't say. The king is tearing his hair out over a tomboy of a daughter. I wonder what she's like. Anyways, let's go see what Marla has concocted up. A hyper-dimensional transporter. It's 1000 AD. It's 1000 AD. Teleporter. I love what this guy says. What does teleport mean? Yeah, I'm kind of wondering what's going to go wrong here. Okay. No one wants to try. I wonder why nobody wants to try your Oh. I have to try this out? This is going to go badly. I'm going to regret this. Gonna regret this. Oh yeah, spin around. I'm alive. I'm actually alive. I like what Tobin says. He's like, it actually worked. Okay then, well, you can actually do this an infinite number of times if you want to keep going for a little spin. Yeah, I'm actually blown away. Luca has invented teleportation. Okay, well, I guess that was entertaining. Oh, Marla wants to try it out. Where'd I manage to pick up a cutie like her? Well, you see, I was a big, careless oaf of a random dude who just bumps into girls, and it worked. It scored me a date. Okay, well, I guess this will be fun. Hey, it made me feel fuzzy and tingly as my body got ripped to shreds and then reformed at the right. I'm sure she'll enjoy that weird tingly feeling. Something seems up. That's weird. Pendants don't normally glow. Huh? Oh, this can't be. This can't be good. Oh no. What? Hey, Luca? Is that supposed to happen? Show's over! Please keep moving. Please keep moving. Move along, folks. That wasn't supposed to happen. I like how Luca's like, it couldn't have been the telepod. It had to be something else. Surely my genius could not be flawed. I guess I have to be a gentleman, and I must run off to save her. Well, I'm going to regret this, but let's see where this random hole leads. This is not going to end well. Well, you guys wanted action. and action is about to begin. Systems activated. Initiating energy transfer. I am going to so regret this. And off we go. Thank you, and good night.
Oh no, I have lost, and it seems you have won. Here's your 15 points. Now wasn't that fun?